at the head table. Our founder, Mr. Richard Roper, and I'm sure everybody remembered him, passed away sometime in August. He was St. Elizabeth powerhouse. Can you say amen? Yes. And so we are going to light a candle in his honor before we ask God's blessing on this meeting. Mr. Richard Roper. Also, Mr. Abraham Cameron, the husband of Mrs. Beryl Cameron, who is the secretary of the Malvern Monroe Zone. He passed on recently, and he will be buried next week, Thursday. It is so nice whenever we are having a session for us to ask someone special to be among us, and that is the great Creator God. And so this time we are going to ask Him to be in our presence so that we can have a wonderful, a warm, and a cordial meeting this afternoon. So ladies and gentlemen, in the honor of the Almighty God who sent us all here, let us bow our heads in prayer at this time. Father God, you're the gracious God. You're the God who created the world. You're the awesome God. You're the God who sees about all of us need, and you know why we are here this afternoon. So at this time, I just want to invite your presence to be among us. Dear God, be beside each and every one. We know you have the power to do that. And as we sit together, dear Father, let us all gather something new from this meeting that we can go back into a community and share. Father, those who have traveled from far to be here with us, bless them. Thank you for bringing them safely. Bring them back safely to their abode after we shall finish in this meeting. For those, dear Father, who might be suffering from this deadly disease, some might be in great pain at this time. Touch them. Comfort them. Show them that they are not lost, because you are beside them and you can help them. Some of us might be suffering from the same. We do not know as yet, dear Father, but you are there to care for us. Care for us, take care of each and every one of us. Mrs. Reynolds, who is the person in charge of this meeting, stand by her, and I'm sure you will help her to go through this meeting smoothly. Our dear secretary that is sitting beside her as well, her dear friend Judith, bless her. Our treasurer, the person who holds the kit, bless her, dear Father. She's a very hard-working person. Every one of us, dear God, take control of us at this time and bless us as we ask all these mercies in your dear Son Jesus Christ, who came to earth sometime to take charge of this world. Thank you, Jesus, and may we all say Amen. May we all have a wonderful afternoon. Thank you, ladies and gentlemen. Well,
I'm sure we're all feeling very filled after that wonderful prayer. Thank you very much, Mrs. Keane. Feeling filled and blessed. I want to welcome some members of the Santa Cruz Zone who have just come up, and I want to invite Bridget to come and sit with us at the head table. She's our immediate past chairman. I've saved your seat, man. We're now going on, if you're looking at the agenda, we're now going on to apologies for absence. I've gotten a few. Mrs. Roper can't be with us today, and I'm very happy Mrs. Keane did that very thoughtful candle for Mr. Roper. As a foundation member in 1987, he really, along with Mrs. Roper, probably kept the Cancer Society, this branch, going. If you read the chairman's report, you'll see my views about it. Apologies for absence. I got a text from Mrs. Edna Cook today. She's away, she's attending her granddaughter's recital abroad. But she sent us all the best. She cannot be with us. Madam Secretary, Edna Cook, apology. Baron Cameron, Mr. Stevenson, I think you said Nurse Emily Stevenson, can't be with us, and Nurse Stella. Anyone else? Miss Jentles from Santa Cruz, Miss Dorothy Jentles. She's been our zone leader for a long time and she served on the executive for many years. Any other apologies? I'm now going to ask Mrs. Yvette Gordon from headquarters to bring greetings. I doubt if she really needs this mic.
Good afternoon, everyone. This is Margaret Reynolds, Chairman of the Jamaica Cancer Society St. Elizabeth Branch. The Honorable Baron Rochester, Hostus Rotoloro, St. Elizabeth. Members of the Executive Committee of the St. Elizabeth Branch of the Jamaica Cancer Society. Our special guest speaker, Mrs. Caroline Graham, Chairperson for Jamaica Reach Recovery and the Cancer Survivor, who is accompanied by her son, Roger Graham, Mr. Michael Leslie, Finance Manager for the Jamaica Cancer Society Kingston office, Mrs. Iselin Porter, who is also a member of the Jamaica Reach Recovery team and also a cancer survivor. I think, did you stand before so that I can see who you are?
Yes, I did.
Oh, okay. Volunteers with the St. Elizabeth branch of the Jamaica Cancer Society, family and friends, good afternoon. It is so wonderful to be here. You know, I look forward to coming to fellowship with the team at this time every year. Let me also pause to just celebrate all the women who yesterday was International Women's Day. So, gentlemen, let us just give all the women here a very warm applause. Such wonderful weather here. It's so crispy, the air is so crisp and clean. You know, it's overcast, it's not all sunny and dry, and it's just beautiful weather here in the Breadbasket Parish. It is a blessing for us to be fellowshipping with you at your AGM today. Research has shown that annually approximately 14 million people across the globe learn that they have cancer. And from this 14 million, 8 million persons die from the disease. Cancer continues to be one of the most aggressive and impactful non-communicable diseases in the world today. These statistics are magnified when compared to the increasing number of Jamaicans who faces major health challenge, especially during their most productive years. The Jamaica Cancer Society has continued to advance this agenda over the years and has been the bedrock for many Jamaicans who have needed assistance in dealing with this disease. We have continued to play an important role in the lives of cancer survivors and their families across the island. Each year, we resolve to increase the number of persons who respond positively to the messages of safeguarding their health through prevention, early detection, treatment, and of course, cancer survivorship. Last year, we were particularly pleased that there was a general improvement in the number of persons who avail themselves of these services. The Jamaica Cancer Society screened approximately 21,000 individuals for cancer of the breast, the cervix, and the prostate. With the growing concern for the increased number of Jamaicans diagnosed with cancer, the focus of the Jamaica Cancer Society will remain that of health promotion, public education, access to screening to reduce the number of premature deaths to this disease. Early detection remains our best defense in the fight against cancer. We continue our advocacy work with the government to develop and implement policies that will address risk factors and regulate standards and guidelines for quality healthcare delivery in our public hospitals. While we celebrate the successes achieved in these areas, the reluctance of the majority of our Jamaican males to be screened for prostate cancer, especially those over 40 years of age, remains a grave concern for all of us, given that Jamaica has one of the highest recorded incidences of this type of cancer in the world. The less than anticipated number of persons who are being screened annually will result in a redoubling of our efforts in the coming year to intensify our public education programs and strategies to reinforce the importance of screening, early detection, diagnosis, and treatment. Last year, we engaged in several media and public awareness initiatives. This year will be no different. It is projected that the next decade will be a period of significant advancement in medical science and medicine, particularly in the area of genetics and a better understanding of the treatment of cancer. This is where we hear all these buzzwords being thrown around now, like immunotherapy and more targeted therapy, where the scientists are looking at individual genetic makeup. I saw on NBC just a week ago where one of these scientists with the National Cancer Institute was assisting this lady that was terminally ill with colon cancer, late-stage colon cancer. And he took some of the cells from her body and he did all that medical stuff that he did, and then reinfused the cells back in. And I mean, she responded favorably to that treatment, and she was around to share that story, even though she was given up, you know, because of the status of her diagnosis. And I would say, I researched that gentleman, Dr. Stephen Rosenberg. I researched him, and I have written to him to invite him to come to Jamaica and to share with us about this new targeted treatment. You know, a big part of our role as a Jamaica Cancer Society is to seek opportunities to continuously bring hope. A lot of persons are losing hope in the fight against cancer because they are faced with so many deaths. So we want to change that and to do more in empowering and encouraging persons to really access the available screening services to open the door for early detection, and to continue to work on raising and grant applications to assist those persons who cannot access treatment privately, to help them to get enrolled into effective treatment programs so that we can reduce the number of premature deaths to this disease. On behalf of the Board of Directors and the entire Jamaica Cancer Society family, I'd like to use this opportunity to commend the hard work of the St. Elizabeth branch. You know, you have continued to push and to advance the mission of the Jamaica Cancer Society this side of the island, and you have been doing outstanding work. And I really want us to just pause and applaud the entire team of the St. Elizabeth branch for all the hard work that they're doing here this side of the island. Congratulations on the staging of your second Relay for Life, which was very successful. I know we're still growing. Like everything else, when you're just starting out, you know, we're learning as we go along. And you know, we have a lot of work to do in
in the planning and the execution of this very important event, and to also look for other opportunities to fundraise and to generate revenues so that we can do more in advance in the mission of this organization. So, I'd just like to encourage the team and to encourage all of you who provide support through volunteerism to help us to continue on this work that we have embarked on until we see, hopefully, sometime soon, the back of cancer. Thank you all for having us.
Thank you, Mrs. Gordon. I believe that you made it Dr. Gordon now?
No.
Congratulations. We now come to confirmation of the minutes of the last AGM. Is there anyone who was present at the last meeting who could confirm the minutes for us? Those are the regular minutes. I think they're these ones, the long page that you got in your program. I hope you have all had time to be perusing the minutes and reports. Anyone confirming the minutes? Gilmer Williams, thanks. Who is seconding? Miss Ewan? You are. Miss Ewan, I'm going from my second one, so you're right, but get it mixed up sometimes. We now want to adopt, we have reports for adoption. Yes. I'd just like to make a few highlights from my report, the chairman's report. It's in the program, and I think you'll all have read it. As I already said, this is our 30th year. 2017 is our 30th year, and I think I hope that we'll continue for, head office celebrated 60 years last year. I hope that we'll at least celebrate that and go on from there when the time comes. As Mrs. Keane had mentioned, we lost our founding member and a mentor to so many of us, Mr. Richard Roper. Between him, we're sorry Mrs. Roper can't be here, but she's not so well herself. But she continues to give us guidance. We go to her before we have our meetings. We go and spend about an hour with her before we have our regular bi-monthly meetings. And she continues to give us guidance, and we do appreciate it. This year has been challenging for us because one of our main missions is our outreach with the screening program and with the introduction of the instantly available VIA tests at the clinics. We have seen a drop-off in our pap smears. Our pap smears are much more thorough and give patients a lot of information, but when you have to pay $900 versus having something done freely, a lot of women choose the free option. So we're trying to see how we can build back up ladies with pap smears, not necessarily in the clinics, but through other routes as well. So that's something that we're working on. We continue to offer several outreach and educational activities through head office, the National Health Fund, and several sponsors. We had people who were willing to pay for ladies to travel to the locations that they had to go to. We were able to offer 50 free pap smears and 30 free mammograms to vulnerable ladies across the parish. The ladies who had the free mammograms and pap smears were very appreciative. A lot of them would never have been able to have them done. They had to travel to Manila to have the mammograms done. And I really want to thank head office particularly because they led us with that. Can we give them a round of applause, please? Edith Cheddar is the face of our branch. She does a lot of the education activities where they have to travel to schools, etc. And and several, she did several of those, as you can see in the, and more. The Rita Williams Fund continues under the able leadership of Hilma Williams. I don't know what we would do without her. She continues to give and give and give. And I think we can all learn so much from her. Our zone leaders and the zone members continue, particularly in their giving emotional support to people who have been diagnosed with cancer. At the drop of a hat, they're out there visiting them. It makes a big difference in people's lives. Sometimes that's all we need to do, a simple visit to a cancer patient or to the families of cancer patients can make such a difference. I hope that some of you will join us. We have, I think Carrie Ann is here with us today. She's our clerical assistant. We couldn't manage without her. She keeps our records and we're very happy to have her. She, along with our driver and the nurses, do a really thorough job. This year, G.T. Taylor, last year we got 30,000 from him through his G.T. Taylor, through his extravaganza that's held on Christmas Day in Black River. He has decided to partner with us, and a few weeks ago he presented us with $50,000. He's not here, but he deserves a big round of applause. And the Chamber of Commerce, Black River Chamber of Commerce, continues to partner with us as well. We haven't gotten our contribution from them yet, but we're very happy. We try and go there as a group. We have a booth, we give out information, and those of us who can't walk. Our main fundraising activities continues to be the sale of the pink pins, an initiative of Leonie Demand, our treasurer, brings in a lot of the funds that we do raise. And this year again, we had a very successful Relay for Life event. I don't know how many of you made it down there. Can I have a show of hands? I know there was a group from Southfield, a big group from Southfield, and it was lovely work. Is that Miss Kaluina? Yes, we're very happy to have her here. And I had promised to especially introduce her to Mrs. Graham. She runs Walking Treasure Beach for cancer survivors. Did you see? I am happy and especially welcome you. She was a specially invited guest. Yes, we have some people who are ready to come on board with us with Relay for Life. The Custos is one of them. She is our patron and she encourages us a whole heap. She's also just trying to come on board with us as a volunteer with our branch as well. And we are very happy to have her on board. Thank you very much, Custos. We have some other members. JCDC has come on board. They gave us a nice package this year at Relay for Life. And some other members who are not part of the Cancer Society per se, but who have come on board for Relay for Life, and we're very happy to have them. I think that's mostly what my report says, and I hope that it will be adopted. Thanks. Ms. Edith, yes, just a moment.
Thank you. Ladies and gentlemen, please join me in giving Mr. Ronald Morgan from our head office a very warm welcome. Mr. Morgan, we forgot you. And Mr. Morgan,
welcome, Mr. Morgan. Mrs. Cheddar, I think, wants to come and do the statistical report. The audience are coming on.
Friends, our statistical report as set out in your program does not look good. Our numbers are dwindling based on what Mrs. Reynolds mentioned earlier because of the VIA screening test. And we are down. Last year we did 893 ladies. This year we're down by 208. So our total ladies who did the screening was 685. And that's not good. The under 20-year-olds that we see on the streets, and we want to encourage them to have their pap smears done, the 20 to 24 age group, because that is when they're sexually active. They're not coming to do their tests. And if you look at the age group, 45 to 49, we saw 180 ladies, and the 50 to 54 age group doing their pap smears. It is encouraging to see that age group going to our clinics, but we would love to see the younger ladies going to the clinics and following up with their pap smears. The results at the bottom, the number screened, 685. Thankfully, the abnormal results are less than 10%. So we need to actually bring the numbers up in terms of the numbers that are screened. So we want to ask you to encourage our young ladies to do the pap smear, which will do a thorough screen instead of the VIA, because it gives more information and it helps them, especially if the test is abnormal. So please encourage our ladies to do the pap smears. With regards to breast examinations, because we have someone here to speak on what Reach to Recovery deals with. At our clinics, our ladies are examined, their breasts are examined. And if the nurses find something that is not normal, then they usually recommend that they do their mammogram. So at our clinics, all our nurses they explain to them how to do their breast self-examination. They encourage them to do their breast self-examination. And I too am asking us to continue to do our breast self-examination and to encourage our ladies to do this. The numbers are low. What's going to happen with the branch? We don't know. We're working on it, we're talking, but we want to ask you, our ladies and the men as well, to encourage our ladies to have their tests, their pap smears especially, done as well. Thank you very much.
If you look in the program, you'll see the names and the locations and the days that the clinics are held. Southfield, Newell, Junction, those are in this area. We also hold in Balaclava, Junction, Balaclava, Manatee, Black River, and Santa Cruz. The pap smears are done by us for 900. It's not that we're making any tons of money, but we do have to pay our nurses, the driver, and the clerical assistant. I'm inviting you and the man to come up and give us the treasurer's report. As Edith said, encourage people to do their breast self-exams and to come and get a pap smear done.
As the treasurer of the Cancer Society, we're not looking pretty, but we will survive this year. So we will have to work hard this year to survive next year. Because as Mrs. Reynolds explained, our clinics are dwindling. And before each month we were able to clear all our expense for the month, except for cleaning the slides. But it takes about 3 months now to clear 1 month. So we are really falling behind. So here am I, after the meeting, I'm asking and I'm begging. We have 2 main fundraising, and that's the little pink pin, and our target this year is 5,000. Now, if we can sell 5,100, we will be able to pay Mr. Leslie. And working for that 5,000 pin, it allows us to pay 1 year. And he has been generous to allow us to pay once per year. He calls the 26th to remind that, no, not the 26th, the 16th, because it was the last 2 weeks of December. So I started getting the calls from the 1st of the month, how do you stay? And that how do you stay would mean, do you have your money ready to pay? So we have been lucky, as I said, we will pay this year, sir. And we are going to work to pay for next year. So the $100, 5,000 bill will pay Mr. Leslie. And our next Relay for Life, that is exciting and a happy day, will pay the rest of the bill along with the bill. So you see, if we work real hard, with everybody helping, we will go 2018, 2019. We'll take it 1 year at a time, because we have to raise probably roughly about 1.5 million to survive every year. As I said, after the meeting, I am asking just for names for anybody that will sell the pins. I will get them to you in September. And you can ask your church member, you can ask anybody to buy a pin. But all I would want now is your name and telephone number so I can contact you in September and have the pins ready. And another group that we are working hard on is the Relay for Life, which will be in November. You know, Santa Cruz is hot, but believe it or not, we are cool when it's Relay for Life. Because you might even have to use a sweater, because it's in the afternoon, and you know the breeze, your breeze, my little breeze, everything blow down on us, and we become cool. So you don't have to worry about coming to Santa Cruz because it is hot. It's a cool afternoon, night. Mrs. Gordon, we are getting there, but we are far from there because we're supposed to start at 6 and end 6 on the morning. But the first time we reach 11, this time we reach 1:30. So with all of you people, we should even reach 3:30. So we are getting there. And it's simple, just come and have fellowship. And have groups of 10, and we ask for $500 each, and we will raise $5,000, and we see how we can get a little money. So that will be depending on. And just bear in mind that we do a lot of, if you need us in your churches or anywhere there are groups of women, we are willing to come and share, because our main effort is to educate. But you need money. You know, money is the root of all evil. We can't drive to Hanover and things without the great money. So this is why we try to raise some funds. And as long as we can trot on 1 year at a time, I'm not asking for 4 million, 5 million, so we have it in the bank. Because you know, we're not getting any money here anyhow. So might as well you work it, and then you give us year at a time. So I hope I won't be disappointed and I get a few names to help me sell our pins for October. They will be at 100. Mr. Leslie won't raise the price, was still $100.
Not sure yet.
Not sure yet.
What did you ready to
myself. And thanks for all and we have taken
and as a result, the government
contribution after funerals, so we hope that will continue for our kitty. And thank you very much. You see, we end up with a minus of 200 which was still a little better than last year. So we just ask you to help us to continue to teach. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Leonie. I also want to move for the adoption of the reports. Miss Olive Jones moves for the adoption. Can I get someone to second that, please? And Miss Yuli Blake. Miss Yuli Blake, second. Thanks. And had you come to, no, this lady up here cannot sing, but had you come to Billing for that, you might have heard me doing karaoke. Could I ask Mrs. Bridget Gordon to come and run our election, please?
Good afternoon, everyone. We are at the point where we will be naming the officers for the 2017-2018 year, the executive committee. We realize that we are not as many as we would want to be, and so we have two options. I could go the route of asking, should we return our officers en bloc, or do we have additional volunteers, persons who would like to serve with us, or should we go position by position? So I'll throw out first the option. I take it that all the officers are prepared to continue to serve. Anybody declining? No. So I'm suggesting that we return the officers en bloc. Everybody in favor with that? Yes. Thank you very much indeed. You made my job so very easy.
Thank you, ladies and gentlemen. Not everyone on the executive is here. Mrs. Coke and Mrs. Cameron, I know, certainly aren't. Could members of the executive please stand? Mrs. Leonie Emard, Mrs. Judith Hendricks, please stand. Mrs. Shadow, Mrs. Gentle standing here right now. Mrs. Keen, Mrs. Cameron had sent her apologies. Ms. Hilma Williams, Mrs. Bridget Gordon, Mrs. Maja Keen. Is Mrs. Carvalho here? A few of our members can't be here. If there's anyone who wishes to volunteer to serve, we're willing to speak with you, and we'll see whether it's on our committee or in a zone-like setting. Thank you very much, and I'm happy to have this team. We are good team members. We do everything as a team and we work together. Thank you all very much. I'm going to invite Edith back up to introduce our guest speaker.
Friends, this lady is a graduate of St. Andrew High School, St. Andrew High School, multiple on-the-job training from NCR Training College in Dayton, Ohio. She is pastry making. She has a certificate from past in her UTEC now in pastry making. So this is her work history. She has had a varied work career, starting with the Victoria Mutual Building Society, where she was introduced to IT. Her employment history spans NCR and Colgate Palmolive and Wilma's Prep School, which were all IT related. She was involved at Renee's Pastries and Wilma's Boys School Canteen, which were food related. She was at Vaz Prep School, which was financial management related. Mortgage Specialist, which was a mortgage brokerage company that she owned. She's now officially retired, and she has fitted new tires. Her new tires. You know what her new tires are, right? They're in excellent condition. Married for 38 years, with 6 children. One son is here. She has there are 3 step and 3 biological children. She's a Christian and worships at Webster Memorial United Church for 39 years. She was diagnosed with breast cancer in October 2004. A member of Reach the Recovery. She was deputy chair to Reach the Recovery from 2007 to 2010, and she is the chair of Reach the Recovery 2011 to present. Help me welcome Carolyn Graham.
Executive Director, Cancer Society, and her team. Distinguished guests, ladies and gentlemen, thank you for having me here. This is my very first time in this area. Don't know anything at all about Southfield. Closest I have been is Midlothian.
That's Manchester.
There you go. But it's very great to be here. When I got the invitation, I said, Southfield, how would I not? And I decided I wasn't driving, so I brought my chauffeur. Unpaid, but very relaxed. Well, today I want to talk to you a little bit about cancer. And as the St. Elizabeth branch of the Jamaica Cancer Society, you should know what cancer is. So if I said to you, what is cancer? You should be able to provide me with a good response. Does anybody want to offer a simple explanation of what is cancer? Don't do a shouting noise. Okay. Let me tell you what cancer is. Cancer is a term for diseases in which abnormal cells divide without control and can invade nearby tissues. Cancer cells can also spread to other parts of the body through the blood and the lymph systems. Now that is a medical description of what cancer is. Well, the truth is, cancer is more Cancer is a corrosive condition that affects not only your physical being, but it affects your mental state and it affects your spirit. It's not just abnormal cells, it affects much more than that. Now, working from that position, if we go on to say, what is breast cancer? Breast cancer, as it's stated, relates to cancer which forms in the breast tissue. Now, the breasts are mainly made up of fat and fibrous matter. There are blood vessels, and there are nerves, and there are lymphatic channels, and all sorts of things there. But when we talk about breast cancer, we know that men have breasts, but the incidence of breast cancer in men is very low. Incidence in breast cancer in women is significant. So when we talk about breast cancer, we're going ahead of it, wait. When we say what is breast cancer, it's a term for diseases in which cancer appears in the breasts. Now, not only can you have breast cancer appearing in your breast, but it starts there and it travels through your lymphatic system and comes out somewhere else. It's still considered breast cancer, but it's then considered metastatic breast cancer. And breast cancer comes in various stages. You have from 0 to 4. 0 being the simplest to treat, the ones that the Cancer Society like to catch. When we catch them early, you can treat them better. 4 is the ones that nobody wants to have, because then you really have serious medical challenges. The other thing about cancer is that cancer is like, you have different types of mango. It's like, a Julie, and a hairy, and a East Indian, and a Bombay. You have different kinds of breast cancer. And the different types respond to different treatments. So that you may have one that responds to, you may get a result that says it's estrogen negative, or estrogen positive, which is a hormone that the female body produces. Or it may be a thing called HER2. Now, HER2 is a very expensive undertaking. Nobody wants to hear that they have HER2, because the treatment for that one is like $250,000 each time. So you really don't want to go there. But the truth is that breast cancer has various types. It's not just a single type disease. Worldwide, we're looking at about 1.4 million cases of breast cancer per year among women. 1.4 million per year. In Jamaica, we're looking at about 43 in every 100,000. So the numbers are significant. Now, who is a breast cancer survivor? Breast cancer does not respect age, in that we have members of REACH, well, they're not members of REACH, but we have persons who have been diagnosed with breast cancer in their teens in high school. So it doesn't respect whether you're young, you're middle-aged, or you're old. It doesn't respect gender. As I've said before, there are some men who have breast cancer. So it's not a respect of gender, although the men are more fortunate. It doesn't respect race, whether you're white, you're black, you're Asian, or you're any of the above, or all of the above. It does not respect age, it does not respect gender, and it does not respect race. So when you ask the question, who is a survivor? A survivor can be anybody who has been afflicted with breast cancer. Let me look at what causes breast cancer. Now you know that if we knew what caused breast cancer, there would be no problem. We would have found the solution, and we would be discussing